Welcome back to Phone Lookout. Thanks for watching our videos, and do subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed. So today I thought I would bring for you a quick one, and that's replacing the J330 screen. That's the J3 2017 model. And okay, so I think let me just do a I don't know, recap. The way you remove the older screen is by applying heat to the peripheries of the screen, or preferably by using a screen separator that delivers a controlled heat and has a temperature monitoring screen that tells you what temperature it has reached. But I did this one at around 110 degrees C. Besides, I really didn't need the screen because it was dead. Actually, a bit of history with this phone is that it was drowned in water, but the owner shook the water a little bit and decided I will power it on to see if it is still working, which was a very wrong move. So she kept on using it with some liquid still inside, and eventually it stopped working. Now when I got it, I had to ultrasonic the motherboard, clean any signs of corrosion. Unfortunately, the older screen had gone with the damage. So today I decided to acquire a new replacement screen, which is in this bubble paper, and that's what I'm going to use to demonstrate to you how you would secure the new replacement screen onto the phone. I think you might have already noticed that this doesn't even require you opening up the phone entirely. But anyways, while here, should you need to go into the motherboard and access components of the phone, the internal components, you simply remove those screws that are underneath the screen. Now, if you were to open this phone and your screen were functional and you needed to reuse it, you will have to be careful while removing it. That's where I would recommend using a temperature of 90 degrees to prevent bleaching the pixels. Also applying a lot of care as you cut in between it and the frame. Anyway, let's go right ahead. Now, this is our replacement screen. I don't think it's an original. I think it's a generic one. I see here OLED HK. I don't suppose that means Hong Kong, but yeah, that's how my replacement screen looks like. It's a J330 FN if you really needed that extension, but it's the global version of the J3 2017. So having removed the older screen, you will need to clean the remaining glue that remained on the chassis of the phone or on the frame of the phone. And having done that, we will proceed to apply glue. Now, I've already tested the screen, so that's why I'm quite certain I'm going to proceed with placing it without any fear of failure. So, like I usually say, when securing your screen onto the frame of your phone, I always recommend you applying the adhesive on both the receiving surface and the surface to be received. It tends to form for a stronger bond. It's just something I have observed to work better over the past few years, because with this glue they recommend placing it and leaving it to sort of partially evaporate for about 2 minutes before you bond the two surfaces. And I think glue to glue interface bonds stronger. So anyways, let's proceed. So I am going to apply it around the peripheries first, and then now this edge has a very small area to receive the glue, so do not over squeeze the glue. You do not want it spilling over. The glue should just be enough to hold the screen onto the frame, not too much to actually spill into the screen layers. And I am actually happy about this J3. It does not implement the AMOLED screen, so which means I bought the replacement screen at a relatively cheap price. Usually the Samsungs that use AMOLED tend to have very expensive replacement screens, and more often than never the owners tend to abandon them with me. Now having placed on the peripheries, then the next is to place between these areas. Now this is to provide for extra strength and be certain the bond created between the screen and the frame of the phone will be quite strong. Yeah, I think any of you should be able to do this. It's actually a very simple process. I think the only things you have to look out for is placing the adhesive in places it shouldn't go, and also preventing spillovers. That's mostly it. Oh, you might be wondering which kind of adhesive I am using. This is actually rubber glue for screen replacements. This is the E8000. It forms a stronger bond. Actually today I wanted to replace it, buy more of it, but I couldn't find it on the market. All I could find were the older B7000s. Those don't create strong bonds, and usually most of the replacement screens have been judged unfairly to being of poor quality, yet at times it's just an issue of securing it onto the phone's frame, and when you do it poorly, definitely it's more susceptible to failing, later just compounding on the very fact that it's already a weak screen, and you're again exposing it to more risks of failure by securing it improperly. Yeah, so now we are going to the screen itself. We also need to apply adhesive around it. Do not over ooze out the adhesive, just put enough veneer to make a bond with the glass. I hope I'm quite loud for this video, but if I am not, I'll try to revoice it, so don't mind. Oh, as I passed around that hole, I remembered the home button. Now that's one thing that it's quite easy to forget when bonding these two together, and with this type of glue that I'm using, and bonding is really hard. Actually, I was so surprised that the B7000 easily gets off at a temperature of between 80 and 90. Now this E8000, actually you need temperatures as high as 1200 degrees Celsius to be able to separate it from the frame, so that's why you want to get it right in one go. If the glue has already set, it will be a nightmare, seeing that you have to remove it in a manner that does not damage the screen itself. Okay, I like to think this should suffice. Yeah, now the next thing is to give it some 1 minute to evaporate. Oh, and by the way, let me add some more around these areas. I've noticed this actually comes and sits around the back in the recent apps keys. Okay, I can only estimate where the glue should go. I'm trying to look at there and try to mirror it onto the screen itself. Yeah, oh, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. If you have any queries, do comment, and hit the like button. It goes a long way to saying thank you, and it gives us reassurance that what we are doing is loved, and gives us the energy to keep going on. Okay, let's wait the 1 minute together. Oscar's gone. I done with your video. Okay, I think it has evaporated. Now I need to remove that sticker. I do not want anything adding on to the thickness of the screen itself, so I really need to trim it out. However, okay, it has appeared. just as I'm about to complain about my surgical blade hiding, it does appear. OLED. I know this is not OLED, but I think they just got carried away. Okay, now that's out. This is a thin veneer, don't mind that. Now the next thing is I am going to plug it into the socket. Okay, it has entered the socket, and then now I move it along such that it covers the frame. Now get this home button positioned well before we proceed. Right there, and then all around. Now, having done that, I am tempted to power on to just see if it has been secured well. Okay, so it's powering on. That shows me the LCD is functioning well. Now we have to wait for it to go on. So it's Samsung. Okay, that's a very slow boot up. After having said Samsung, it's going to power on. Then we test the touch. Now, as it is powering on, let me get my threads. These are my threads. These are going to help me secure or hold the phone screen onto the phone's frame until the glue finally sets, and that's about 12 hours from now. Let me unlock. Okay, let me get the messaging up. Okay, I'm just going to the search bar. I need the keyboard. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 Q in that manner. Yeah, so the touch layer is actually working fine, so I can now go on to restrain this. Yes, thank you for watching Phone Lookout, and that's how you replace the screen of a Samsung J330. Now let me just proceed to put my threads, the securing threads. I believe this is well positioned. Okay, forward a bit. Okay, now right there. I like these threads because they sort of apply tension, distributed tension. Occasionally people use rubber bands, but the problem is it's all concentrated at one point. Yeah, so these threads are just to press the screen down onto the frame as the glue dries. I don't mind the color that I got. That's what was available, and yeah, I suppose I'll have to bear with it that way and probably sell this to a lady. Okay, so we're going to move it all the way, even longitudinally, because we also need the upper side well pressed like that. Thank you for watching Phone Lookout.